All right, so welcome everybody. It is round 3 of the WPL season, or the round 3 review, I guess. We're fixing to have week 4 here. So let's just everybody take a minute and check in. Think about where you're at for this meeting and how you're showing up. Definitely a 1 because today's my Friday. Oh, a lot of 4s. It's going to be a good meeting. Awesome. Cool. And we got a couple of quick shout outs this week. We had a couple of refs at the finals, Dan Frankenfeld and Lindsay Oliver. Dan was there for the 7s, Lindsay was there for the 15s, and I think you guys both had good showings, both happy with it. Yeah, awesome. And Rosalind Anderson was there as well from the ref coaches. And let's see, Olivia gave a shout out to Jenny Lou. She wanted you to know you had a great self-analysis this week. So 2 thumbs up on that. We appreciate that. And then just to the whole team, I wanted to let you guys all know that I appreciate everybody's attention to detail when it comes to deadlines. We've been doing a great job this year. So thank you. So here's what the week looked like. Life West went Amazons 71-0. So that was a pretty big landslide on that one. 40-20, North Shore took the loss. And then Beantown, New York, with only a 12-point game. And here's kind of how it all shaped up. You can see Beantown there. Beantown and Berkeley both have only played 2 games. So we've got three-way tie there with 10 points. Then we've got the 2 teams with 7, North Shore and the Zons with 0. So this next week should be pretty exciting. See where everybody falls out. I just have 2 little things I've been wanting to say. When you're watching your videos, if you notice that you're touching your earpiece a lot, that piece that curls over your ear, the piece that kind of goes in front here, that can be trimmed. If it sticks up over your ear, then what happens is this curly tube kind of hits on your shoulder and it will knock your earpiece out. So take a look and see if that needs to be trimmed so that it fits you better. If that doesn't work, go to the drugstore and buy this tape, surgical tape, and just you can either put a piece right over the ear hole, or you can put a piece right here on the back where the tube comes down the back. The other thing you can do if you're popping it out is the clip that goes on your collar, stretch it across the back of your neck and get it over here on the other side from where your earpiece is, because that tension will keep it from hitting your shoulder and popping up. All right, so that's sort of a lot. Does anybody have questions about that? Anybody having trouble? I mean, I can see you guys are having trouble with it because I see the video, but yes, somebody has a hand raised. Tim, what's up?
I actually got a custom earpiece on Amazon. It was like $25 and it's like life-changing. It fits in my ear. It doesn't fall out. I put a piece of tape on it. I don't have to worry about it. It's custom. I actually split it with Morris. So he got the right, I got the left. There was a little bit of, but it was cool. I'll put the link in the chat box. It's makes you feel kind of special because it's a custom earpiece.
What's the price of that?
It was $25, I think, maybe 30. Okay. I got to check, but it was low cost.
Does it mold to your ear, or is it just like a?
You put it in. It's just like a mouthpiece. You put it in water, and then you stick it in your ear, and you hold it there for a little bit, and then you, yeah.
Super awesome. The other thing is, I do have some molded earpieces here. I'm about to. Supposedly, the kit is supposed to show up on my doorstep tomorrow, so I'll be shipping that out next week. So if anybody wants a molded earpiece, I don't know what got sent to you. If everybody has a bud, if you want to try the molded earpiece, I can ship that to you when I ship kit. So just shoot me a text or something. The other note about kit is if your radios went to the wrong address, those were shipped based on the what Lee Johnson has on his list for referees for the US. So that if your stuff went to the wrong place, that means your address is wrong there. So we need to update that list. But send me an email or send an email to Lee so you can update his stuff. But CC me so your kit doesn't also go to the wrong place, because ultimately I just pulled addresses off of his list. So that's that. Ref coaches, I wanted to tell you all reports, just make sure we've wrapped up our peer reviews on those other reports. If anybody has questions about that process, I heard from some of you on it and from others, radio silence. So let me know if there's any questions about that. We good?
Yeah, Bob didn't find time to look at me, so
Okay, has he not looked at you at all, or have we just not had a discussion, or has there been no contact whatsoever?
the latter.
Okay, all right, cool. Well,
Should I send him a reminder?
yeah, if you want to, that works. Well, you know, we've all worked together a lot, so I think that's fine if you want to reach out to him, but
Sure.
I can also handle it if you'd like, up to you.
No,
Okay,
no,
cool.
I can send him a nice note and see if he has time.
Perfect. Thanks, Peter. And if he doesn't, if he's strapped for time, then
You can reassign me.
yeah, we'll find a different way to do it. Okay. Cool. I'm going to stop my video so that maybe the advantage will work well. No, that is not what I wanted to do. No, I'm on a call right now. Okay. Sorry, one of my kiddos is coming in. Oh, why can't I get this to do what I need it to do? There we go. I don't know why escape is not working for me today. All right, advantage. Who wants to go first?
Well, we're on this report, so I might as well.
Whoever comes up first. All right, awesome. Thanks, Jenny.
No problem. This was a great match. At one, there was about 10 minutes left, and it was tied 24-24. And then Beantown had two quick tries on the outside by a sub who came in and then scored both of those tries. So that was pretty exciting. Goals for the game were space, appropriate escalation, and a clean tackle picture. I would say it was mediocre in terms of goal achievement. The space was good in the first half, and then both teams pushed, and I could have done more with presence to help that. Also, the ARs came in, and I was trying to sort through what I wanted to take and what was immaterial to me. And yeah, the space was just a little push in the second half. So that one was like, okay. Work on positioning and presence. So appropriate escalation. I missed my opportunity to, and we'll see this in one of the clips, missed an opportunity to yellow card Beantown. And I think that could have made the game better because they had just a rash of penalties, and I did warn them, and then I didn't follow through on that. So that's just a learning point for me to have a better internal dialogue as we're approaching those situations and just being more proactive versus reacting to things.
Okay. Olivia, any thoughts?
Not really, but I do want to say when Jenny and I talked, and Peter, this comment's kind of directed at you. Jenny was like, when I was on the field, I realized what someone told me a year or two ago in a coaching review. So I thought that was cool because that's a shout out to like the system and the process, and that recognize that for a referee, you have these discussions and then sometimes you have light bulb moments. And I thought that was just cool for Jenny to see that pattern.
Oh,
Yeah.
super.
I think that's absolutely true. Kat and I have had many discussions about how somebody will say something one way and then someone says it a different way and it clicks, or you have an experience where something clicks. So yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for that. How do we feel about the balance here? It mostly felt okay? Because when you add it up over the course of the match, there's a bit imbalance there in the first half with the PKs.
Yes, and that's
the
when I
foul
should
play?
have done something about it.
Okay.
That's
Right.
exactly what I'm talking about. So I think that could have made the game better.
Okay. Super. All right.
Okay, we can go right to number 1. Nobody saw this live, but what would folks call? And maybe you won't even see it, because I actually didn't see it in the review and somebody pointed it out to me.
Anybody else a flanker?
Yeah, so
I told her
those
when I
two-
was a flanker, I'd punch my opposite and engage. Subtly.
What's funny is this is the second time I've seen this year.
Hmm.
And I went back and looked through my notes to try and see where my note was so I could see which team it was, and I couldn't find it. So do you want to tell people? Does everybody see what's
I
happening?
mean, does this really affect play? Like, I see that the flanker slowing down the 9, but is the 9 really relevant in the whole situation?
Well, but you don't encourage this type of behavior. This is off the ball.
Yeah, I don't
It's a
think it.
trip. It doesn't
Yeah, it's a-
matter. That's foul
correct.
play through and through.
Correct.
So if
Are
we'd
folks
seen it,
feeling-
go ahead. Sorry, Jenny.
Yeah, are folks feeling that's just a PK only, or would you go any higher?
I would go PK and manage it. I would talk to them, give them a stern warning. If anything happened like that again, yellow card.
I agree with that.
This is a team that seems to like tripping, though.
That is interesting.
Yeah, but real time, I didn't see this at all.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's why all the flankers do it.
Most of them are more subtle than that, but
Okay, so we're at a PK for this instance because even though it's foul play, it didn't really interfere with anything happening. If that flanker had taken out the 9 in a different situation, I'd say we're definitely escalating that to a yellow card. Everybody happy with that? Okay. Number 2.
Yep, there's not too much to say about this, but it's just something weird and awkward that happened in the game. And it's difficult to tell in video, but the Beantown kicks it and the wing is just slightly ahead. Maybe this is too picky. Also, you let me know. And I call it in front of the kicker.
Okay. I'm going to play it. This is at a funny angle for me, so I don't know. You may have to walk people through what happens.
Sure. Okay, there is it's thrown back. I signal back, and then this player kicks it. 11 is slightly ahead, and I call in front of the kicker.
Can you pause it right as she's about to kick it and then maybe frame by frame until the ball is like gone a little bit?
Yes, I will. I'm trying. I have trouble seeing where the kick actually is. I think it's screened a bit by players in front between the camera and the kick.
Yeah,
So 11 just caught the ball.
a little dink. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think 12 kicks it.
So I think right here, maybe it's about to be kicked. Yeah. Okay. Anybody see that?
yeah.
So right here's the ball in the hands of the person who's going to kick it. There's the kick. The ball's up. Camera moves out. And there's 11. She was in front and she catches it.
Do we feel that this is too marginal, or was that clear enough that it just felt, I just felt it was in front of the kicker, and are folks happy with that?
I have a feeling from where you were standing on the field, it was clearer than it is to the camera.
Yeah, you were in a good position to see both the kicker and the wing. So go with your judgment.
I will tell you guys in my review, I couldn't see it at all. And I was like, yep, believe the referee.
Yeah. There's a lot between the
That-
camera and that.
Jenny, I don't think I would call it based on this angle, but I think the timing of when you called it makes it 100% credible whether she was in front or not. So I'm happy with it.
Good comment. Thank you.
Thanks.
Number 3.
Yep, and then this is the example of inappropriate escalation and a learning point. So Beantown has a string of penalties, and then this happens in the 22. I had talked to the captains a little bit earlier, and you can see Olivia pointed out the player reaction, and they were expecting a card, and I'm not sure why I didn't do it. It was a clear opportunity, and this was just missed for me. And I think part of the reason is that I fell into the trap of trying to facilitate New York's game plan, and they were quick tapping with every instance, and I wanted to help them do that. But the better decision was to just stop and give them that player advantage. And so that is just my reflection point in having a better internal dialogue of like, okay, I've just talked to the captains and I need to really be on high alert and not just be reactive.
Okay, before we look at this, can we go, I'm going to pop back to the report and let's look at what the penalties were prior to that. That way we have better context. So it happened about 40.
Mhm.
So there's the foul play. So at 39, we had a PK for high tackle.
Yeah, and they were all like very marginal. Soft.
37, there's another high tackle.
Mhm.
And before that at 36, an offside. So there's your trending. Okay. And was this not 10 or was that an intentional knock on?
It was both.
Okay.
And I wish I would have taken the opportunity to be like, oh, everybody saw that, and just sent number 2 off because it's just just missed opportunity and a learning point. And that player, you can tell from the body language they were half expecting it. So I should have had a little bit more situational awareness also of reading the cues.
Yep. Perfect. Anything else?
That's it.
Lovely. Thanks for showing us that.
That's all.
Mike Lawrenson, you want to go next? You're up next in the list.
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
Fine. I'm from my phone right now, so
Okay.
Yeah, so great game. I had a lot of fun. It was very close when it started. What ended up happening, it seemed like Colorado was putting a lot more pressure than Chicago was, and Chicago almost engaged, almost 0% of the rucks. It just played defense. And Colorado took every opportunity they could. So obviously that ended up with a lot more penalties against them when they made a few errors, and then that's where the yellow cards come from as well. I tried my best to manage it, really worked the first 20 minutes to try and set standards. That was kind of my goals for the day, was to set standards early and see how effective I could be in doing that in the 20 minutes, that I wouldn't have to do it for the rest of the game. And I thought it worked pretty well. Definitely fixed a few scrum issues early. And in the end, it just seemed like Colorado's pressure was just too much.
Okay.
That's
So I'm seeing a pretty big imbalance here in the penalty kicks.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, again, Chicago just didn't engage. They're very compliant. They were back. They were always back, always on side. It seemed like Colorado was just taking a lot of chances, and but always a different type of penalty. It was never really a trend that I could find. Once I found a trend, I gave immediately a card because I've just been itching to give a card, I guess, because of all the
Yeah.
penalties. So yeah, there wasn't really a trend, and as soon as there was one, I gave a card for it.
Okay. Let's look at the clips.
So yeah, I don't know if Bob's on the call, but I didn't get a chance to officially meet with him.
Okay.
We just kind of talked over email. I tried to talk to him today, but he was unavailable. But he put some comments on my videos, and some of the clips he had questions about. I didn't get to discuss it with him, so I just put them on so they could kind of discuss it here, if that's okay. I try to find some things that you were looking for, like trends I could tell a story, but the footage wasn't that great, and I didn't really find anything that was really something I could tell a story. Just the scrums per se. So we can start with the scrum, the driving up or standing up one. Yeah.
Do you want to talk to us about what you're seeing?
Yeah. So the first scrum, it was Chicago's ball, and under a lot of pressure. And I saw the angle of the red loose head kind of angled up, so it kind of got my brain juices going that, you know, the ball came out, but I was thinking, okay, next scrum I'm going to really focus and just check that that's okay. On this scrum, I penalized red loose head here for standing up. A question from Bob, the coach, was, is this standing up or is it driving up, or is it standing up under pressure? And what are my cues, and how did I get to that outcome? That's a good question. You know, definitely green was under pressure. The cues that I had, maybe we should watch the film and then I'll tell you what the cues I had.
Okay. Let me see if I can.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a little bigger. Okay. So talk us through what you're seeing.
So what I'm looking for is just what is their first movement? What's the angle of their first movement? And for me, the loose head, she didn't drive forward first, she drove up first. And ultimately that forces green to pop out. If she had driven forward first and then, you know, driven up a little bit and then green popped out, then I would have given the penalty against green and put under the pressure. But for me, the visual cue that I was looking for was, what's her first movement? And for me, I thought in this particular instance, she was going up first.
Hey, Mike, it's Tim Lowe. I agree. I mean, normally you see a drive and then some kind of instability and then it popping up, and that's a different case. This, I just see red going straight up and it just destabilizes everything. So I think it's a great call.
Yep, I agree. She was not following green going up to escape the pressure. She initiated that.
Yep. So also just contextually, like we're right in the middle of the pitch, it's green put in. So our expectation is that green's going to get the ball. So I think this call follows pretty well what we would expect. I mean, you do see red go up. There's not enough of a forward drive before they go up.
Hey, this again. I think contextually too. I mean, this is like the best attacking platform for a team, right? Scrum center, you know, you can attack both sides, 8-pick, and you should get really good forward ball in this. But clearly, red spoiled it pretty hard. So,
yeah. Okay. So we're all happy with that. If red had a little bit more of a forward drive before we saw it go up, then I think standing up would be a more believable call.
I had a quick
Anybody?
question. On like set, I think so like they hit and she sort of overextends and Chicago falls back a little bit and then they balance out.
Okay, which player overextends?
Red overextends, green falls back a little and then they sort of even out. If I don't think you could see that on the other side, but if we were standing on that side, is that something we'd want to reset for, or is this a solid enough platform to keep going?
To play through this because green gets the ball out? Is that what you're asking?
No.
That's fine.
Lindsay's asking if there was enough instability in that moment
Oh.
after set to say, no, let's break it up and start over. Is that right,
Yeah.
Lindsay?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
see. There's a bit of movement there.
There's always going to be a bit of movement. The question is, does it stabilize before the ball comes in? And I think it did.
Yeah, I don't think there's time to blow it up even because the ball goes in so quickly. I mean, yeah. Thoughts? We're all playing on.
Did the ball come in while it was still stabilizing?
Yeah, I mean,
That we don't want.
Yeah, they
Mike,
do appear to be just going set and straight through.
Hey, Mike, this is Tim. Did the trend continue, or did red stop standing up after?
Red stopped standing up after this one for sure. But yeah, the scrums were still messy for different reasons. So it was a constant battle, but definitely driving up.
yeah. Ultimately, if we're going to try to get legal dominance from the stronger team, which red appears to be going to drive through this, then we do need to penalize them when they drive up. So
Would it be worth going and looking at a couple more scrums in the report?
it's fine with me. Do you know some good ones, Mike? Did we lose Mike? Did we lose me?
No, you're still here.
Okay. Phew, you never know.
I don't see Mike's name on the participant
Okay.
list.
He was breaking up a little bit for me earlier, so I wasn't sure if it was me or if it was him. So we might have just lost him.
Okay, so take a look at the one before the penalty, that one there. At four, no,
Nope. Did I not get it right?
no, the one after that, that one. He didn't put a penalty in there, did he?
I
No,
don't think this
No,
might be a
that
different
isn't-
scrum. The other one was at 8. Yeah, see, you can still see him driving up.
Yeah.
yeah, and so his instincts were good.
Yeah, I mean, I do think green is losing ground, so I do think red is the dominant scrum, but I also think there's enough of an upward drive. That the call makes sense. But here, red put in and no issues. So this is Bob's point.
Right. Well, red's not gonna cause issues on there. They don't want to be disruptive.
No upward drive.
Yeah, I mean, they want to be dominant, but they don't want to be disruptive.
Right, I see what you're saying. And then this is our standing up one.
Yeah, this is Lindsay. On this one that we just watched, it doesn't wobble, but the one before that we also watched, that was a green put in, it wobbled like the very first one.
Mm-hmm.
So like it would come off like red is overextending and pushing a little bit before
On
the
defense.
ball's in, I would
Yeah.
say, but also question mark.
Yeah, maybe because they don't have to hook when they're on defense, so they're driving earlier. Hard to say. All right, let's see. Mike has a second one here.
I'm back.
All right. We looked at a couple of your other scrums. I don't know if you were here for that or not.
I was here. That was great.
Okay. So we're happy with your calls.
Okay, great. No, just so far.
Right. Yeah. I mean, not the whole game, Mike. Just sorry, my sarcasm came out. Apologies. Is this yep. Did you want to talk through this clip? This is the held up in goal.
Sure. Yeah. This one's just a question for the group. I'm kind of curious as to what people think. I saw Bob's answer, and I think I kind of agree with him. So this player is attacking well, and she gets in the in goal area, but the defender gets underneath her almost just really well, and it kind of turtles her up. So she's underneath her, and she's squeezing her, so she can't get the ball down to the ground, and she's kind of stuck. But her teammates come flying in and help her bring the ball to the ground. So you can see I could have gotten the in goal quicker, but as I get in there, I see them bringing the ball down to the ground, and it touches the ground. And so my question is, how long is it held up? How long until the ball is called held up? You know, how many? I know she gets one movement, but if she's stuck and then her teammates help her, is it held up, or is it, you know, do I give it a breather? So this one was kind of a sticky one. Of she was over the line when she got held. When she got held up. Well, I'm like answering my own question, and then they pushed the ball down pretty like almost in the same movement. So it's just a tough one. You know, they weren't upset about it. The Chicago wasn't. So it seemed like it was okay at the time, but now looking back, just questioning my call.
I don't think the video is going to help us determine whether or not your call was right. So does anyone have a philosophical answer for Mike?
Well, I've got one.
I'd sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you decide, sell it, be confident. But the attacking team, they want to get it down. And if it's not grounded immediately, then it's held up. You can't let a struggle go on in that situation.
Nothing good happens in goal when you let it breathe.
Okay, good to
Yep.
know.
Yep, that's the philosophy I would go with. Any other thoughts on that? Were we all pretty happy? Okay. And hopefully Colorado will have better video next time. This is the second week with subpar video. So,
Have you spoken with them?
oh yes, of course, Peter.
And what is their response?
Pettiness.
Yeah, I can't really remember what what the response was this time. They had 2 cameras going. And hopefully they'll have a different solution next time. There was some sort of problem uploading, there was a problem downloading. I really don't know. So
Amanda, I did add one more clip if you refresh it.
already.
This one is from Bob. He thought this one was possibly foul play, and it kind of goes with Wendy's clip that she's
Okay.
put in with the tip question mark. So
Are we gonna be able to see it?
yeah, should be. This is pretty close.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw it. Let me see. Hang on. See if I can blow this up for us. Okay. Let's hear from some refs. What do we think about that one? Can y'all see it okay?
That's yellow for me.
Okay. Talk me through it.
I see the elbow of the black tackler go like up in the air, which is a trigger for me. And then I see the player's legs higher than their back, and then they land on their back.
Okay. Do you see the one leg that stays down all the time?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So one leg is lifted in the air and the other leg stays down the whole time. Is anybody else seeing that, or is it just me?
No, I saw, that's what I saw. I'm with Miles. I'm gonna play through that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, you know, she does pick her up a little bit, but she kind of lands on her butt. You know, I feel like that's a solid tackle.
She picks her up, but the body doesn't go past horizontal.
Right.
Yep, that's what I see too, and I'm
And,
happy.
you know, and it's not yeah, she hits the ground pretty hard, but she wasn't driven into the ground.
Can I
Okay.
see it one more time?
Yep. Let me see if I can play
Thank
it
you.
and slow motion it. So she's got two legs. One of them stays just on a tiptoe, maybe just a little bit off the ground. The other leg goes high in the air.
Yep, I'm okay now. I
Yep.
agree. Play on.
Cool. So we're all at play on. That's good because there's another one in Andrew's game that's exactly like that I think is play on. So
Would you also consider maybe penalizing her for the hurdle? Because she does jump into it. It looked like. I hate calling those, but
yeah.
I don't
When
know.
I think of hurdling a player, I think you're jumping over someone and your foot is getting near their head. Not
Yeah.
necessarily jumping into a tackle.
Yeah, that's, were we gonna play that one again? Just
The
to see-
one we just
one-
watched.
Yeah, the one that
Foul play. This one.
Lindsay was asking about the hurdle.
This.
No hurdle
Yeah,
there.
Lindsay, this is Miles. Yeah, I think if you have to think about it, it's probably not. Like that kind of goes into the territory of looking for penalties. Just my opinion on that.
Good opinion. Don't hunt.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Looks
Oh,
good.
good question. This is how we learn. Thank you for that. Mike, is that you done?
That's me done. I just want to say thanks to Bob for reviewing the film.
Yep. Thank you. We appreciate those ones that you got in. I know it's tough to review film when it's in that shape. So appreciate you doing it. Last but not least, Andrew.
I think Andrew's on a plane,
Oh, okay.
so I will pretend to be Andrew.
All right. That sounds great. Let's talk about him. I mean, his game.
Yeah, let's talk about it. He's excited. He's going to the Pacific Super Regionals, and so he's
Going
getting,
to Vegas.
yeah, and he's getting his first like real big kid referee treatment where he's doesn't have to work on Friday and he gets to go to a final. He's really excited, so I'm excited for
good.
him.
Well, so
Yeah.
we'll have to, we should have given him a shout out earlier and we'll all have to text him and tell him good luck.
Yeah, he's real excited. Yeah, so he had Life West versus Twin City Amazons, big score line. You can see that. And then a larger than normal penalty count for Andrew. He acknowledged that. And I think we identified some areas where he probably was just a little overeager in the tackle area, specifically with ball carrier not releasing. And then we had a lot of conversations around recognizing negative play. Life West is known for just playing right on the edge, like they're going to try to get everything they can get, and they're going to be legal and right up till illegal. And you have to be able to recognize it and take care of it. And in some cases, he took care of it and had chats and was able to manage it. And then in other situations, he chose to ignore is not the right word, but he didn't deal with it.
Right.
That's what we talked about.
Okay. Let's see what clips you got in here for us.
I think I just dropped a couple in, I think 4, but let's see.
Where would you like to start?
Why don't we do the scrums? Because we driving up or standing up, because we had some with the, sorry, go down.
No?
Either one. Yeah. Yeah.
Get this video quality. We like this.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we did talk to the teams about both wearing dark blue too, that we shouldn't have that happen again. Oh, we need just another second on this video so we can see how that platform was for the 9.
Yeah. This only occurred when Life West was on defense. They were very disruptive.
Oh, it's the 8 who picks it.
And then magically in the second half, it was fixed. So I think the coach helped us out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They didn't sub any front row. So, but Andrew saw it the other way. So we talked about triggers. He saw it, he penalized Twin Cities for popping out. So we talked through that it was more than likely Life West being bad.
Life West driving up versus Zahn standing up.
Yeah, that Life West caused them to stand up.
Mhm.
And then this trend of negative play. So this is 3 penalties, not quite in a row. We had like a 40 meter offsides, general, whatever play. Then we had like a tackler not rolling. And then we come here to where they are about 7 meters out. And then they did this. So Life West is not under warning because he didn't warn, but in his mind, he was realizing he should have warned. So no retreat at all.
So we got a pretty easy not 10 within 5 meters of the goal line.
Yeah, did he
And
do
3
anything?
penalties in a row, you can throw a yellow real easy there.
Yep.
That not 10 is that close to the goal line's a yellow on its own.
Right.
Happens in the
Without
first
the
penalty.
trend.
Yeah, without
That's what
the
you're saying.
absolutely.
I was gonna say, you don't have to warn. There's no need to warn in many scenarios.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
professional.
So we
not-
talked through if he would have warned on the second penalty, then he comes here. He doesn't have to warn here, but he comes here and this sells the story for him. He throws this card. He looks great. He builds credibility with Twin City Amazons. He was concerned about interrupting their momentum. So that was what was at the back of his head. So he didn't want to interrupt their momentum of scoring that try because they wanted to go quickly. But we talked about that you've got to deal with that. You can't allow like not getting back at all, professional foul.
Right. And remember, a yellow card is the equivalent of what, 10 points?
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
they'll
the
score
other-
it more
the
than
other
likely with the
thing
player
is-
down anyways.
It's possible to let them go quickly and then give the card at the next stoppage.
It's just a little bit less impact. I felt we talked through that.
Oh,
A
yeah,
little
it's a
bit
lot
less
of less
impact if
impact.
they score and then you give the yellow. I think it's better to give it at the infraction, in my opinion.
Tim, I saw that you raised your hand. What did you have to say?
Yeah. Hey guys. I was just saying this is something that I was going to bring up earlier where Jenny was talking about kind of like interrupting the flow. You don't want to get in, you don't want to like tone down the team or you don't want to get in the way of their momentum. But I think any team would rather take a yellow card than go quick once or twice and get a couple meters. I mean, if it's a scoring opportunity, they're going to score maybe. But I think most teams would take that yellow. And it's not like you've said, I'm going to give them a yellow, you can go or not. So I think in cases like this, like if you're prepared to give a yellow or you're at that point, you should just stop it and give it and not think about the momentum of the team because they will always take the yellow over going quick.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Tim. When we talk about interrupting momentum, what we mean is when we stop the game to just have a captain's chat. If you're going to give a yellow card, it's basically you're handing the team points, right? So
Yep.
they'll take the momentum interruption for that. I agree. Is that it for this clip? Are we all satisfied? Okay. What's next?
And then, tip.
Oh, is this the one that's the same?
It's semi the same.
I didn't even see it that time. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
So I tagged the wrong. This is the one that's not a tip, in my opinion. So let me go find the other one that's absolutely a tip.
I can pop right into
Or you
the-
know where it is? Yeah, 23:45, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Is it going to be tagged as foul play?
I think it is, yeah.
Wrong game.
Oh. Thanks, Lindsay. Foul play. Yep, here we go.
Yeah, it's the first one. Yeah.
It's not going to go back. Slow motion. Blood owl.
Look at that elbow.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yellow card.
And so I had texted Amanda and asked if elbow is still like an old school trigger, because I don't hear referees, besides Amelia said it today, I don't hear referees saying that as often, but that is like a great trigger. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to give the yellow, but I think that the elbow like pointing to the sky is just like a, whoa, something's not right. We should look at this. Because Andrew's thought process was that she didn't go past horizontal and didn't land on her neck or head. So he played on.
Yeah, she's turned to the horizontal. She's very high off the ground. And then, I mean, I would almost call that driven. Whether she lands on her butt or her back, I think we want to yellow card that all day, every day.
Yep, good call.
Anybody have anything else to say about that one? Okay, pretty big flashpoint. We need to get those.
I think that's it.
All right. Cool. Anybody have anything else, an advantage they want to look at? Or can we be done? Okay. All right. So I just wanted to bring you back to some things we agreed on at the beginning of the season. Number one, we're going to work really hard to be in the right position. If we're going to call forward passes, they need to be clear and obvious. Okay. Can one of the referees, somebody want to tell me what we're looking for when we call a forward pass? No.
Everyone
Hey, this
should
is
know.
Marty.
Hey, Marty.
Yeah, I was gonna say the ball moving forward off of the hands.
Okay.
Yeah, not where the ball travels. Yeah.
Okay. So clearly and obviously, ball passed forward from the hands, right? If it's passed backwards, but it still travels forwards, that's relative velocity. It's not a forward pass. Hold the defense to the highest standards at the breakdowns. Why do we do this? Like, why is that our philosophy? Does anybody, one of the refs, want to talk me through that? Who has thoughts?
I think it promotes good flowing rugby
Okay, why?
because the attack isn't uninterrupted unfairly. So if they have good attack,
We like it. Good job, Mike. Thank you. And then we want to minimize talking as a management tool. And what that means is we are using other tools like our penalties, well-placed penalties, well-timed cards, and escalation to manage instead of just warning and warning and warning. All right, so what's going well? This week was pretty encouraging. I think we had quick ball across all matches. Teams played like they wanted to, and the tackle breakdown looked pretty good. Focus on positioning as we move forward. The WPL provides us a really unique opportunity to see the game, a sort of higher level game happening at a pace that we can all keep up with. So we really need to focus on positioning, where we put ourselves, and making sure we're in the optimum position to see things. And you can play with that. You've got the time and the space in the game to think about where you are and where you want to be. So let's really take advantage of that. Opportunities for improvement this week: scrums, minimize our resets and restarts, make decisions. Okay, if you have an opportunity to make a decision, just make it. Don't reset the scrum. And then, like we saw Mike do, we want to penalize the dominant team if they are not scrummaging fairly. So we want to reward legal dominance is the other way to say that. Management trending across the board. All of our games, we have to use our cards sooner. We have to have awareness for when the trends are happening, and we need to not be afraid to trust ourselves and back ourselves with that card. Back 10 penalties. I hate them. I think a lot of times the onus is on the referee to do it a little bit differently, so we don't have these in the first place. But for the love of God, if we give a back 10 penalty, let's make sure the tap was legal to begin with. The teams should not be able to take a quick tap and get advantage when they haven't taken it legally from the right spot or the ball hasn't left their hands. All right.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Amanda.
Yes, Peter?
No, I said thank you. I've been seeing that as a problem for the last year.
100%.
Let's just, make sure their tap is legal, because when we give that second back 10 penalty, that's really impacts the defense. All right, round 4. Here's what it looks like. Amelia's going to New York. Mike's traveling over to Light West. Dan Frankenfeld is at home with the Zons. And for Amelia and Dan, I think these are your first appearances this season, so can't wait. Can't wait to watch the video. Excited.
Thanks.
I'm going to stop sharing, and I was planning to stop screen recording, but I lost everything. There we go.